There are millions of unemployed youths globally. Our world is broken and young people are mostly affected. But in a multitude of cancer, there is safety. Every week, Greater Waiter engages in discussion with industry professionals and business leaders to share their opinions and insight on how youth can find jobs, create jobs, and build successful careers. Are you young and want to build a successful career? Welcome to the show.
All right. So once again, this is Talking Career Podcast. What I do on this show is to speak with human resource professionals, business leaders, thought leaders, career professionals, and just to share ideas around how young people can find what they ought to be doing, find a good job for themselves, and build a successful career in that line. So today I'm going to be having a conversation with Victoria. So Victoria is an HR professional, somebody who is well versed and also globally certified. Right. Thank you so much, Victoria, for the time to speak with me on this episode.
Hello, Awete. You're welcome.
How is the HR profession?
Yeah, very well. So far, so good. There are just so many things to do all at the same time. Trying to do your own regular job and trying to also make impact.
Yeah.
So it can be a whole lot at times.
Sure. So maybe as a way of introduction, we can start with you helping share a bit of your career journey with us, especially how you really got into the HR profession.
Okay, so that's it's quite interesting, my journey so far, because it's been short, but at the same time full of activities, full of events. So for me, I would say, so I studied industrial relations and personnel management at University of Lagos. So, but before then, when I was going to apply for, because I didn't know what human resource was when I was going to, get into school. So, but when I was about writing JAMB and, filling the form, I didn't know what course to go for. I knew I wanted to go into management, business, and all of that, but I just didn't know exactly what to do. So I spoke to someone that I used to look up to then as a mentor. So she asked me, what do you like to do? And I told her I love to help people. I just, I like helping people get things done. I like helping people acquire skills. So as at that time, I had a training, the training that I used to do, which was to, teach people how to make beads, because I learned that when I was in school. So during that period, I started a art and crafts club in my secondary school. So I was always training people and I really enjoyed it. So I told her that's why I enjoyed it. And she said, okay, go and research about IRPM. As at that time, she was just rounding up with the CIPM. So I went to research about it and I said, okay, it's under business. I still didn't really understand what it was about. So anyway, I filled it and I gained admission into Unilag and then I started. So of course, we all understand that, it's one thing studying a course in school, it's another thing practicalizing it. And we don't have so much of practicalizing in our universities. Sure. So I'm really hoping that would to change over time. So yeah. So when I got into school, I started finding out, okay, if I'm going to be a professional in this field, what are the things that I need to do? Because it's not just going to school. So I found out about CIPM, about other professional courses that are available, even though then I wasn't so interested in the others. I just knew, okay, there was CIPM and, when I'm done, I'm going to take my CIPM. So after school, I enrolled for the CIPM and I started taking the program. So, but all the while, I was always looking for, something to just, put my hands on. So immediately after school, I went to Abuja to stay with my sister. Yeah. While I was there, I was just looking for opportunities. And that's the most important thing for young people. Always look for opportunities. Opportunities will not come to meet you. You have to go to look for it. So I registered for a coding class. I wanted to try my hands on tech. Yeah. So I felt okay. I saw a free coding class online. I registered for it and then I started attending the classes. of course, about a couple of weeks down the line, I realized it wasn't for me.
It wasn't for
So
you, right?
it wasn't for me. No, it was just a lot of, yeah, being on the screen and, just putting in different codes. So I just, I spent some time on it, but after some time I realized I have to look for something else. So, I decided the training center we're using, there was a company, they were just using the place. They were just using one of their offices. So I spoke to one of the guys that was training us, and I told him, I said, I'm looking for somewhere to intern. Do you mind speaking to your boss for me? I don't mind even if you guys are not paying me. I'm just looking for something to do. But of course, if you can pay me, I mean, it's good.
So
money. He said, okay, no problem. He set up a meeting between me and the boss, and I went for the meeting, and he told me, he said, we don't have money to pay because this is a government established company and we don't even have enough funds. I told him, no problem, I'm just going to do it. So I started going there. I was assisting the human resource personnel there. And I was going every day. It was an incubator, Inspire Incubator. So they basically have different IT tech startups that are there. So I worked there for a couple of months. And when I was leaving, they gave me they gave me like should I call it honorarium? I don't know what to call it, but they gave me some money when I was leaving,
package.
And that was when I was and that was when I was waiting for NYSC, and I wasn't even expecting that because what I got in terms of the experience and the exposure. I mean, I'm still in touch with some of those guys today, and they are doing great things. Sure you get. So the experience was way more important for me. Then fast forward to NYSC, I of course I was sent to a school to teach. So while I was doing that, I knew I can't waste this 1 year just teaching. So I started to look for other opportunities. So I was telling my other colleague, I'm looking for a job in case you see something for me. You get. So because this was in Port Harcourt, I really didn't know anybody. The only people I knew were the people were studying together. So fortunately, one of my friends got a job with a company, and then they were looking for an admin person. And then she said, "Oh, you say you're looking for a job. Do you mind?" So I said, "Of course." And then I went for interview with the boss. On the spot, I got the job. The people wasn't great, but it was the experience I was, really
looking
after. So I got the job, and then I started, doing admin job for them. I do a little bit of sales for them also. So I was on the job till I finished NYSC. Then I came back to Lagos, and then the whole having to look for another job. It all started all over again. And well, of course, here we are. So I don't know if you want me to say all of my story.
No. So I just wanted to know what now finally led to your decision to say, okay, you know what, it's HR for me, right? A lot of us have different encounters that made us make that decision to say, okay, I'm going to do HR, right? So I was just trying to find, what was that particular encounter for you?
Okay. So I think I already mentioned that it has always been HR for me from the beginning. It has always been HR.
Yeah, I think your background also influenced that decision greatly. Like you also mentioned that the mentorship you received early on in life, which a lot of young people do not have that opportunity to receive, or to help. Yes. So I think in the process where you were talking about how you discovered internship opportunity for yourself, right? It's going to lead me into our conversation, right? So people need a job, but they tell you companies are not hiring. Sometimes it's truth, most times it's not the truth, right? And for sure within the HR space, there are sometimes you are hiring, but the public doesn't know you are hiring.
Yeah, sure.
Right. And then imagine how that you went to do something different, and then you landed a different internship opportunity for yourself, or you created an internship opportunity for yourself, right? The company the company wasn't looking for an intern at that time. I'm very sure of that. But you had to, with all of the drive and for purpose that you had with your movement and with your life, you created an internship opportunity for yourself. I think that's where we can start our conversations for how you can find jobs when companies cannot hire, right? Or where companies are not hiring. So let's take it from that point. How did you exactly start up that conversation? What was in your mind? What was the software in your brain that was leading you into having that kind of conversation to create such opportunity for yourself?
Okay. So I would say for me, it has always been a part of me. Always looking for something to do because I don't like being idle. I love seeking for knowledge. So you can't find me saying I don't have anything to do, or I don't even at the time when I lost my job at some point, what I did was just to start off career highs.
Okay, great.
Because I just knew that, I can't stay idle. I have to always continue to, seek for knowledge or seek for how to, assist people. You get. So I would say that if you're looking for something, you want to start off, you want to start something, you want to get into something, I would advise that, always don't let anything discourage you. There will be a lot of, hindrances. It might look like, oh, it's so impossible, to get an internship. It's so impossible to get a job in the Lagos or this country as a whole. But trust me, people are getting jobs every day. And that is the truth of the matter. People are getting jobs, even though it looks like, oh, companies are not really hiring. Oh, there's COVID-19. Oh, there's this, there's that. People are still getting jobs. And what is the way to go about, you putting yourself out there, or you getting what you want, is by, you have to put yourself out there. And you have to network a lot. I know some people say, oh, I don't know how to network. I'm not the networking type as well. Trust me. I would rather be in my room and just be able to do my stuff than being out there talking to people and all of that. But then when I do something, what I first do is I find out, how am I going to get what I need? So I know that if I'm just, if I'm not saying anything, or if I'm just on my own and I'm not doing anything, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
These things, they're not magic. You have to do something for something to happen. So, like I said earlier, when I was talking about the story of getting why I got the job, I was in Abuja. I was staying with my sister. I went to, pay her a visit, just stay a couple of months. But even then, I knew that I wasn't comfortable, just sitting at home every day. So I started looking out for opportunities. And then I saw the coding thing on Twitter. Coding is not my thing. In fact, before then, it wasn't something I was planning on doing. But I just said, I felt, okay, this is the knowledge. Let me just go and see, what it would and all. And then I went, and from there, something else came up. It was the company, they were not recruiting. They were not recruiting. I said, oh, this is the company. All of them, they're all cool there. And I decided, okay, let me talk to this person. If I had not spoken to that guy, I wouldn't have gotten it. Because there was nothing. It wasn't that they were not recruiting. They were not looking out for anybody. But then I decided, okay, let me talk to this person. And I think that is very important. Like I said earlier, talking, networking, telling people, okay, this is what I need, this is what I want to do. So I think that aspect is, very important.
So I've written 3 things out of some of the things you've mentioned, and I can mention the 3 points, right? So I can imagine that if you were not on Twitter on that particular day, you wouldn't have found that opportunity to try other opportunities like coding. So for me, the first is you have to put yourself out there. For example, be on Twitter, right? So you cannot be in your house and say, oh, companies are not hiring. I mean, you can be in your house and be on Twitter. You should be on Facebook. You should be on LinkedIn, because you are going to find other opportunities that may not be really what you are looking out for. For example, try other opportunities like coding. So if you didn't try other opportunities like coding, you may not have even found yourself creating an opportunity for yourself, right?
Yes.
So I wrote 3 things. First, is yourself out there, be on Twitter, network a lot, and try other opportunities like coding. You may not necessarily like it or love it. It may not necessarily be your passion, but just try other opportunities. And then when you are within that other opportunities you are trying out, speak up. Tell people what exactly you want, right? And they can help you create it. If people do not know what you want, they cannot bring what you want to you, right? So I think these 3 points is something I just grabbed from all of our conversation in the last few minutes. So if we want to extend this a little bit more, right, what are other points you want to add to this?
Okay, so I would say at the same time, there might be some people that you already you have a company in mind, that, okay, maybe this is the company that I really want to work in this company. You know, talking to that guy was not just the end of the whole thing I did. I took it a step further. I researched about the company.
Wow.
And then I read about them. They didn't really have so much presence online because it was like a sub company to another major company. So, but then the few things I was able to grab from what I read online, and of course I read about the CEO at that time. So it wasn't that I wasn't just going and then I was being taken by surprise as to what I'm going to meet there. I already have an idea of, okay, this is the kind of person that I'm going to be talking to. So another point that I'm going to be adding to that is research about the company. It is very, very important. Before you even make an attempt to pitch yourself for a role when there is no position at all, you have to do your own research. If you don't do your research, then what do you want to go and tell them then? Because they're not looking for you. So if you research about the company, and if you realize that, okay, there's actually a gap in the company, maybe there's a particular skill you have, and the company doesn't even know it yet that they need it. It is through you researching about the company that is when you realize that I can actually, do you guys know that instead of doing so things this way, if you do it this other way, you get more results. And that way you're not just coming because you're looking for opportunity. You're also you're going there selling value to them, making them understand that I'm coming in, I can do something much more better for you, more the value. And I think one last point that I would also like to include, like I said earlier, put yourself out there. And it's not just about you go on social media and just post things. Be strategic about it. You're looking for a job. You have to be on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, I don't know.
Where are you?
I don't know, because I right now at that time LinkedIn was not even the in thing. But then I had my LinkedIn profile from before I left Milan. Okay. So right now that LinkedIn is everywhere and all of that, you have to have it, and you have to be very active on it. Be active on LinkedIn, be active on Twitter, and like I said, be strategic. Connect with people that that they are going to be helpful to you getting what you want. That page, and I sent my CV. I send it to them, or I just send them a mail or something. These are my qualifications. Can you I'm available to work. I'm ready to work. Just craft out something, and of course, get people to look at your CV, because you have to be. But for me, I think that the issue of having a good CV and having a good LinkedIn profile has been overflowed already. But true. I still feel that there's still a lot of people out there that they don't even, maybe they know, maybe they don't know what a good CV should look like, or what a good LinkedIn profile should look like. Like I said, you have to do a lot of research. You have to talk to people. Let people, check your CV for you. Let people check your LinkedIn profile for you. There are companies that, do things like that now for you pay them something. But then if you don't have the money, you can talk to people. Check people out on LinkedIn, people that have good profile. You can message them, please, do you mind reviewing my profile for me? Do you mind reviewing my CV for me? You'll be surprised. People will answer you. The ones that won't answer, well, but just focus on the positive part.
True.
So I think basically this point or tips should help.
Impressive point, Victoria, you've raised. So I like the idea of having a company in mind. A lot of people who leave university are not taught these things, right? As much as possible. I remember somebody telling me at the point when I was looking for a job to have like 10 companies I like to work. He just said I should mention like 10 companies I have in mind, right? And I couldn't mention up to 10. And he said, I'm not strategic enough, right? He said, you're not strategic enough. What companies do you want to work with? Research about the company, right? And I like the fact that you were hammering on it, because you would find out you find out much more what you can sell as value if you do a lot of research about the company. And I like the fact that you are reaffirming that point again. And a lot of people, so when you said that it's been overflogged, that work on your CV, have good profile. Yes, it's been overflogged, but I think that what have not been overflogged is people need to be strategic and be active. So we have a lot of profiles on LinkedIn, but people are not active. I can tell you because I do a lot of headhunting. In the last 3 months, I've been headhunting for a lot of roles. And so imagine you send somebody a message. I use premium, LinkedIn premium, and send somebody a message, that I'm looking to hire so and so role, and I see your profile attractive. When is a good time for us to talk? And then the person will be replying me in the next month. I mean, you're not the only fish in the river. Yeah.
I when I was working with a recruitment company, I sent mail to someone. I sent a LinkedIn message to someone because I was trying to, recruit this particular role that was just so difficult to, get talent for. Yeah. And it was the following year. 1 year after I already left the recruitment company, that was when one of the candidates responded.
Wow. I mean, you have missed opportunities just like that. So really, I think it's a point we should really re-echo more, that people need to be active, not just be on LinkedIn, be active on LinkedIn. Yes. A day should not pass. I don't think a day should pass without you just checking up on LinkedIn. Right?
Oh, I check my LinkedIn at least 5 times a day.
Amazing. And that let's not even speak because we are recruiters. It's not just because we are recruiters or because we are HR professionals, right? We check our LinkedIn. No, but it's just like, it's your professional life. It's like your professional database. Yes. So I think a lot of people need to take that platform very much seriously. I thank you for really re-echoing that on this episode. Amazing points you've mentioned. I'd like to ask one last question before we wrap up this conversation, right? So all of the few years or many years you have spent in your HR career, what's that one career book?
Okay, so I would say, the first one being, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. This is a book by Marshall Goldsmith. And, for me, this book, like I said earlier, I rose really fast in my career trajectory. And, one of the things that just, kept me going, kept bringing my head over time is, you're young and, you're handling this so much, this, many things. And my belief is that there's always a skill or knowledge for a particular level. True. And for you to move to the next level, you need something else totally different from what you used to know. So for me, this book has been, I've had this book since 2018. Yes, is it 2018 or 2017? I think 2018, yeah. So What Got You Here Won't Get You There. Like I said, the name literally explains it.
I think it's Marshall Goldsmith.
Yes, Marshall Goldsmith, yes.
I remember attending a meeting at Covenant Christian Center many years ago, where the CEO of Airtel came to speak and recommended that we read that
you were there. I was also there.
Yeah. So immediately I bought the book behind the church, and then I chewed the book like my life depended on that book. You can imagine when a CEO is recommending that kind of book. I read the book in one sitting, and it's something that I really want to be doing on a yearly basis. That particular book, read it more often until I know that yes, I've finished the content and the ingredients of the book. So thanks for recommending. I think I accept that recommendation. I would read it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take your last words. Your last word. What will your last word be as we wrap up this episode?
Okay. Last words. So I think I'll just reiterate again. Being strategic. And I believe that it's one thing to, even get a job, and it's another thing, keeping the job and being exceptional in the job. All of the places I've worked from when I started my career up till now, I'm still in, good. I'm still in touch with all of them, my bosses, and we still communicate over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so I would just say, always improve your skills. Things are evolving every day. Technology is changing every day. Things are just, keep evolving. Things are evolving. So as things are evolving, ensure that you also evolve. Ensure that you add more skills to the current skills you already have, and don't burn bridges. My former boss will always say, "Don't burn bridges." That would be all from my side.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Victoria, for the time and all of the insight you have shared on this episode. It's been a wonderful time speaking with you on this episode. I'm really grateful it's really pleasant having this conversation with you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me too.
Thank you for listening to this episode. For more episodes, visit www.greatowaity.com.